In 1957, Detroit's boardrooms were silent battlegrounds. Behind closed doors, executives weren't just building cars. They were plotting against them. Why? Because one small engine from Chevrolet had just humiliated America's biggest automakers. Not on paper, on the track. This isn't a story about horsepower. It's about sabotage, backroom politics, and a V8 so far ahead of its time, it had to be banned. This is the truth behind the 283 Fuelie, the engine Detroit tried to erase from history. The 283 cubic inch small block V8 debuted in Chevrolet's 1957 lineup. At first glance, it didn't seem world-shaking, but looks were deceiving. What made it revolutionary wasn't just displacement, it was tech. Rochester mechanical fuel injection, space-age stuff for a street car. Suddenly, a showroom Corvette could make 1 horsepower per cubic inch, 283 horsepower from 283 cubic inches. No turbo, no supercharger, just raw, efficient engineering. Ford and Chrysler were caught flat-footed. Their flagship engines, massive Y-blocks and HEMIS, were powerful, yes, but crude, heavy, thirsty. The 283 made more power, weighed less, and revved higher. It didn't just outmatch the competition, it embarrassed them. And in Detroit, humiliation has a price. On the racetrack, the 283 was untouchable. At Sebring, Corvettes powered by fuel-injected 283s clinched class wins. Out on public roads, they destroyed nearly everything in sight. Drivers reported pulling away from larger, pricier machines, like they were standing still. And it wasn't just speed, it was consistency. The injection system meant no flat spots, no vapor lock, and instant throttle at any RPM. While Ford's carb-fed Thunderbirds choked in corners, the Corvette surged ahead. Then came the drag strip. With the 283 under the hood, the Corvette could dip into the 13s in the quarter mile, a serious number in the 1950s. Tuners quickly realized you could squeeze 300-plus horsepower out of the engine without losing daily drivability. But this success came with a cost. Chevy's rivals didn't like losing, especially not to a smaller engine they didn't understand. So they pushed back. Hard. In mid-1957, the heads of America's major automakers met under the banner of the AMA, the Automobile Manufacturers Association. The public reason? Safety. The real reason? Kill the arms race that Chevy was winning. They passed a voluntary ban on factory racing. No more official support for race teams. No more bragging about horsepower. No more direct competition. Overnight, Chevrolet had to withdraw. Race teams lost parts. Engine development slowed. Advertisements were scrubbed clean of performance claims. And the 283rd, it lost its stage. But that wasn't enough. In 1958, NASCAR made a bombshell announcement. Fuel injection banned. They claimed it was too complex, too expensive, hard to tech. But insiders knew what it really was. A hit job. The only engine running reliable fuel injection at the time? The 283rd. With it gone, competitors could breathe easier. The Corvette was suddenly just another sports car. Performance shops scrambled to convert back to carburetors. Tuners lost a key advantage. And just like that, the most advanced American engine of the era had been exiled. Chevrolet didn't stop innovating. The 327 arrived in the early 60s, followed by the legendary 350. Bigger numbers, bigger power, bigger engines. By the late 60s, America was in love with big blocks, 396, 427s, 454s. The little 283 faded into the background, now just a workhorse for wagons and pickup trucks. And yet, it never really left, because while the 283 was silenced, its design lived on. Its block architecture, the bore spacing, the compact layout, the lightweight, became the blueprint for GM's next half-century of V8s. In 1997, when GM launched the LS1 in the C5 Corvette, enthusiasts noticed something familiar. The new V8 was modern, yes, all aluminum, fuel-injected, but at its heart, the same spirit as the 283rd compact, lightweight, High output. The LS engine became one of the most celebrated V8 platforms in the world, and it was built on the bones of the 283rd. Today you'll find its DNA in race cars, street rods, resto mods. The same philosophy that made the 283 a threat in 1957 still rules the streets today. And that original engine, it's having a quiet renaissance. Collectors seek it, tuners respect it, and historians are finally giving it credit for reshaping the performance world. So, what if the 283 Fuelie had been allowed to run wild? What if Munich had taken it to Europe and crushed Le Mans? What if Ford and Chrysler hadn't interfered? Would Detroit have built smarter, not just bigger? We'll never know, because the 283rd wasn't killed by failure. It was killed by fear. Fear of change, fear of being left behind. And in silencing it, Detroit lost more than just a race. They lost a glimpse at a future they weren't ready for. This was no ordinary engine. It was a warning shot, a declaration, and a victim. And now, nearly 70 years later, its ghost still haunts every small block that dares to push the limits. This wasn't just an engine, it was a revolution. Silence before its time. Like this video if you found it helpful, also subscribe to channel.